What is going on, y'all? Robert Sykes, Keto Savage, KetoBodybuilding.com, and I'm coming back at you with another vlog update series on the building program. So we are 15 weeks into the build. We are 4 weeks into the reset phase of that build, and this week is going to kind of have to be a reset of a reset because last week I was in Brazil. My macros were all off. My calories were pretty much on target most days except one, so I feel good about that, but my macro percentages and ratios were all skewed. And my training was a bit skewed because I only got 3 workouts in, and it was all in kilograms, so I had no idea even what I was lifting. I didn't even track my lifts like I normally do. So this week I am back in town, back in my normal routine, back in my compound, back in my gym, back with my food, and I'm going to take this week to just kind of reset things and get recalibrated. Little caveat to that, though. I'm actually going to be flying to Oregon on Friday to test judge a bodybuilding competition in Oregon, the Cecil Phillips Classic. One of my good friends, Aaron Orton's putting that show on. I'm going to be test judging at that show, which I'm super excited about. That will be a little bit of a variable from a traveling standpoint because I will probably not be able to train on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, potentially. So we'll see how that goes. But as far as the rest of this week is concerned, my weight this morning was 199. I've been kind of trying to tweak things with my electrolytes. I'm going to start tracking my electrolytes again. I haven't really been tracking my electrolytes consistently up to this point. However, I've got the 50-mile march taking place in 5 weeks. And when you're marching 50 miles on your feet through the night, if your feet swell, you are in trouble. That's when you're going to start getting blisters, you're going to have chafing, you're going to be in a lot of pain. It's not good. So the best way for me to ensure that I don't have any excessive swelling is to make sure my electrolytes and fluid retention is dialed in. And I am going to do that via consistent tracking starting probably this week and definitely next week, being 4 weeks out from the March at that point. So I'm going to start tracking my electrolytes. I'm probably going to start at around 8,000 milligrams of sodium, 4,000 milligrams of potassium, and scale up from there, supplemental sodium and potassium, and then see how that treats me. Just to ensure that I don't have any excess fluid retention. I'll go to Oregon this weekend, and I'm going to take this week from a training standpoint to kind of just get in the groove and get as much as I can in with the time I have. Being in Brazil jacked up my training. Being on a plane for 15 hours a day jacked up my posture and my skeletal structure, and I'm just all sore, and I need to just stretch out. So like last week was a deload from training. This week is a stretch week from training, and then I should be right on track to rock and roll next week. So this week is kind of a reset of a reset. So that's just is what it is. That's the reality of my situation. I've got a whole lot of business stuff going on too, so I'm distracted on business stuff while I'm training, which is frustrating, but that's also my reality right now. There are things that are seasonal in life. There are things that are cyclical. This is not the season for me to focus 100% on the bodybuilding and the nutrition. That's okay because I gave it 110% throughout my entire prep. I have to focus on what's priority right now, and right now that is the business and other things. So the main thing is that I have these habits in place. So even if I'm not 100% dialed in, my 90% is still pretty freaking good. So lean on those habits and routines when you can't focus on it 100% from a fixation standpoint. So that's my words of wisdom there. That's what we got going on this week. Thank y'all for tuning in for week 15 of the bulk. And we will be back at you next week. Once I get back, I'll let you know how the test judging goes and how tracking everything more consistently and being back in routine affects my composition and how things are looking. Here's some pictures of this week. These were taken on Tuesday, so a pretty accurate reflection of what I look like coming back from Brazil. Here's my chart. Didn't even talk about that, but here's my chart of my intake over the last 6 months. You can see pretty much trending down except for that spike. I was in Brazil. They have Brazilian steakhouses in Brazil, so I capitalized on that moment on that day. So there is that. But again, from a nutritional standpoint, all back on track now, starting back at the higher fat ratio and rocking and rolling. Weight's been pretty consistent. Didn't really see much of an increase while in Brazil, so that's positive, and just continuing on with the trend. So thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you next time.